Welcome back, and here is part 2 of that video. It's kind of an unofficial part 2. If you are just picking this video up and you say, well, what do you mean part 2? The video that is just prior to this in my list is another group of 2 product reviews. And basically, bottom line, there's 4 items that I kind of felt are, you know, if this is must-have to do the job of a truck driver, and in tanker with Prime, you know, up here I'm putting the tools that you need to do tanker, the fittings, things like that. If you can go back, one of the very first videos that I did was Tanker Basics Part 1, 2, and 3, and I show you some of the tools that I have, I show you the fittings, things like that. All that stuff's up here. I'm talking just below that level. And the first video that I did was the first 2 items, and it was my GPS and it was my dash camera. And actually I'm kind of doing this backwards maybe, because the GPS I think I put as number 4. Really, dash cam is probably then 3 on the list, although it's pretty important. And like I said, these are probably the 4 things that would be the next things that I would buy after I had everything that was had to have. You have to have these things, the tools to do the job. These are then the next items that I would buy. I'm going to put a list or a link down in the description of this video. It is from the FMCSA as we get to our top 2 items on this list. FMCSA, if you are new to trucking or just looking to get into trucking, Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration. They're the folks that create all the rules and regulations to do with the trucking industry. And talking on a cell phone, distracted driving, is a major problem in the country, let alone in the trucking industry. And it's when you start driving a commercial motor vehicle, and you're going to see that listed when you start taking these tests, CMV is treated differently than driving your personal vehicle. So you can sit there and say, well, my state doesn't have a hands-free device law. The FMCSA doesn't care about your state and your hands-free laws. Bottom line is, if you're driving a commercial motor vehicle, you're dealing with interstate commerce and you are dealing with something federal. So the state laws, forget about it. Forget about the fact that I'm pretty sure Indiana does not have a handheld device, so you can hold a phone up to your ear. I'm not positive. I've moved to Indiana. I really don't care. I'm not even going to look it up, because the FMCSA, and again, you can go directly to the link in, there's a fact sheet that they've put out. You can't do it driving a commercial motor vehicle. Can't do it. You have to have a Bluetooth headset. And in fact, reaching for my phone, probably notice I use my phone to record these videos. Simply reaching for your phone can get you a ticket, according to the FMCSA. And that's not a minor ticket. If you don't want to click on the link, I'm going to tell you right now. To you, the driver, $2,750 is the cost of the ticket while operating a commercial motor vehicle. On top of that, your company, whoever is the authority, and in this case it would be New Prime Inc. That is the name that, long backstory, Prime, you know, went through a restructuring at one point. They are now New Prime officially on all their paperwork. But at any rate, they have the authority. And you can get your own authority if you want. Be your own company, be an owner-operator. Whoever owns the authority is going to get a ticket as well. So not just you, the driver, but also the company, the authority, is going to get a ticket. And that ticket can be up to $11,000. So why am I telling you all this stuff? What do you think the top 2 things have to do with? Talking on the cell phone. So, number 1 on my list is my Bluetooth headset. This is a Blue Parrot BT250XT Plus. This is the second one that I've had. The first one broke. I don't necessarily blame them, but it broke. These things are better than your commercial, regular Bluetooth headsets from the standpoint of this thing holds a charge for 3 to 4 days. You can talk on this thing for several hours on a charge. It has noise canceling so that as loud as these trucks are, and these trucks rattle, they're so much better than they were 40, 50 years ago. But I've never had anyone say that they can't hear me. About my only complaint, I wish I could turn the volume up just a little bit, but that might just be me because I think I used to work in radio, and you can go back to the who, what, and why, you know, and I did that video about who I am, what I'm trying to accomplish with these videos, and why I'm making them. I used to work in radio, so I wore headphones. My hearing might not be as great as anybody else's, but that also means I'm also kind of used to the over-the-head. You'll see guys at truck stops walking around with these. I personally don't do that. But the boom mic, you know, as you saw, it comes around. It is right by the corner of your mouth. It has a good quality speaker. It has great noise canceling. I've never had anyone complain about not being able to hear me. I think they're really good. They are a little on the spendy side. They're about $120, but spend $120, use this is better than paying $2,750 and probably getting fired, because if you get an $11,000 fine sent to you by the police because you were holding a phone up to your ear, your company's not going to be very happy with you and probably will not like to keep you around as an employee. Personally, I keep mine up, you know, when I did the tour, there's kind of a shelf up here. I keep mine hanging there, and when my phone rings, I reach up and grab it, put it on. I always know where it is then as well, so I'm not reaching down to a cup holder for a phone, something like that. So that, I think, is the number one. This almost is at the must-have level, because your company's going to call you. They're going to, you know, ask you questions, things like that, and you don't want to have to pull over to the side of the road just to answer a phone call. So this is as close to must-have as can be, but I'm very impressed. I'm very happy with the Blue Parrot BT250XT Plus. To go along with my thumbs up recommendation on the Bluetooth, this is actually going to be 3 total products, because I'm giving a thumbs down to my first phone mount. I mentioned you can put your phone in a cup holder. You'd sometimes like to know who's calling. Maybe you get a text message, and obviously I'm not saying to text people while you're calling, but you can glance down, and to have it mounted in front of you, I think it's pretty imperative. Instead of, you know, like I said, reaching for a phone is worth that $2,750 ticket. So don't do that. But I purchased a used Bracketron Pro Mount XL is what it's called. You can get them for about $40 at just about any truck stop. It broke. It broke fairly early on. My wife purchased one. She had it in her car. Basically, most of these are suction cup, an arm, and then something to hold on to the phone. And in both cases, as the second one that I bought new, my wife bought new, and then I stole from her when my used one broke. The part that squeezes the side of the phone would no longer hold the phone in place, so the phone would then fall out onto the floor down by my feet, where I'm trying to drive, clutch, shift, accelerate, brake, which is no good at all. So thumbs down on the Bracketron Pro Mount XL. But I still think having a phone mount is incredibly valuable. And I've only had this new mount for a couple of days, but so far the quality seems to be a factor of 10, 100 times better. And you might be familiar, might not be familiar with a company called RAM mounts. RAM mounts have a metal arm They attach to 2 plastic balls on either end, which makes them as versatile as you can possibly be. It can be mounted and adjust to any possible position, because of it's like your shoulder. It's a, ball joint on both ends, at the mount end on both sides. The other thing about Ram mounts is it's an American company, and it is 100% lifetime replacement guaranteed. You can look up, so first of all, the phone mount is called the Ram Mount X Grip phone mount. You can get it on Amazon. It's a little bit more expensive. It's $50 compared to the $40 for the Bracketronix version. But I've watched YouTube review videos of these. Somebody had one where the suction cup stopped holding on the window. They, you'd had it for 3 or 4 years, and they just replaced the suction cup. So far, first of all, it is incredibly sturdy. It seems to hold the phone very, very well. And they have a lifetime warranty on them. So I'm very pleased with those. And again, I think this one is it's below certainly the Bluetooth headset, but it does keep your phone in a position where you don't have to look down and see who's calling you. You don't have to look somewhere else. It's right mounted in a nice spot, so you don't get distracted quite as much as if the phone was not right in front of you. So that's pretty high up on my list. So Bluetooth certainly would be number 1, close to the must-have item just below. Phone mount, dash cam, and then the GPS. So there's my 4 product reviews. Hope you enjoy them. Again, if you're interested in applying to Prime, I'll have that link in the description as well, so you don't have to go and do a search. Hope you can continue to enjoy my videos. Sorry, just can't talk there for a second. Hope you enjoy them. Thanks so much for watching. And if you have any questions, comment below. Share these videos, like them, all that good stuff. Subscribe, and we'll talk to you again next week.